We've just seen not one, but two indie horror films made by YouTube stars absolutely crushed at the box office. So what does that say about the nature of storytelling, and what can we learn from it to use in our own work? Obsession, written, directed, and edited by Curry Barker, grows every weekend. And The Backrooms, directed by Kane Parsons, is A24's biggest opening ever. Both of these movies beat Star Wars' The Mandalorian vs. Groglit in only its second weekend. A Star Wars movie. They beat a Star Wars movie. And let's not forget about Iron Lung by YouTuber Markiplier from earlier this year. That was also a massive success. And I think we're going to see more things like this as filmmaking and distribution become more easily accessible to everyone. I mean, Hollywood is already searching YouTube for the next big thing. Like, that's a known thing that they're doing. So why horror? Why is this the genre that's blowing up on a budget? We'll dig into that, but first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. The whole purpose of film and art is to elicit emotion from the audience. With horror, you have that to build off of. And you can and should bring in other emotions, but you have that basis. So from the start, your story has weight. Everybody is scared of something. And a lot of the time, it's universal across human nature. So some other things you could do, other genres, there's drama, there's action. I'm not even going to talk about action, because you're not going to start with an action movie. It's too expensive and difficult to do. You're not going to, at that level, you're not going to do action. And you're not going to do sci-fi or fantasy or superhero or whatever. I'm not saying that those aren't valid forms of storytelling. I love those movies and stories. But at that level, with the resources that you have, which are very little, you're not going to start there. So what else? There's comedy. Comedy's another really good one that you can start in because it's cheap. But we know that it's really difficult and it's really hard to be funny. And I try really hard to be funny. Does it work? I don't know. Sometimes. There's drama. Okay. Drama is another valid one at a low budget, but you don't have that baked in emotion. And you could do a family drama, but not everybody has the same kind of family. You could do a love story, but not everybody has the same love story or a love story at all. Horror is universal. Now, of course, this comes with the caveat that you're actually good at it, but that goes for all storytelling. So if you're good at the craft and you're good at horror, just start there. And then as we get into production, they're very cheap to make. All you need is a camera and two people in a room. And sometimes not even two people. It's just, you don't need a lot of resources to make it. Blood and prosthetics are easy to do. If you can do a little bit of CGI, that'll go a long way. It's a very low entry point. They're shooting all of these horror movies on small budgets and turning a huge profit. Here, Blair Witch Project, Mad Max, Halloween, Super Size Me, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Night of the Living Dead, American Graffiti, Friday the 13th, Rocky, Napoleon Dynamite, Paranormal Activity, and now Obsession. These are some movies that had the highest return on investment. Do you notice a trend there? Of the 12 I listed, over half are horror. All you need is a good hook, and the rest is easy. So okay, we've established that horror is fertile ground for indie filmmaking. But where do we start? Here are 5 tips to help you make the perfect horror film. All right, so first and foremost, we need a rock solid concept. And to do that, we can tap into primal instincts, right? So that's one way to do it. It's just emotions that are universal across human nature, stuff that anybody's gonna relate to. Rejection, fear of the dark, loneliness, all of this kind of stuff that you can really tap into all of human emotion and get people on board with you. Another thing you can do is either flip the norms or push the norms. So if there's something in daily life that you notice, what do you think it would be like if it was the opposite, right? Or if somebody just took it too far. Next, you want to establish your mood. And this is gonna help you actually tell the story itself. So is it creeping dread or gross out, shock value? Is it jump scares, that kind of stuff. So kind of how you're going to craft the story and how it's gonna unfold. Then probably most importantly is you need to develop a compelling character. And of course, this goes for all storytelling, right? But for horror, you really need that character to be grounded in that reality of the narrative and be connected to the overall story itself. So, for instance, if it's a character that struggles with addiction, then it's going to be a haunting, right? If it's somebody who struggles with control or doesn't want to be controlled, then it's a possession film. Or if they are fear of death, right? Then it's zombies. You know, all of that kind of stuff to really get the audience to connect with that character in that story. Because we don't want to just feel for the character, we want to feel with the character, right? And lastly, a great way to do that is tell your story using all of the senses, right? Film is a visual medium, that's the easy one. But if that character is in there and they're smelling something or feeling something or tasting something, right? We want to feel it with them. We want to be in their head, in that character, to feel that sense of horror that the movie is conveying, right? So easy peasy. We do all of that and we got ourselves a perfect, awesome, rock solid horror film. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like it, subscribe to the channel, leave any questions or other topics you want me to cover in the comments section. Good luck making your horror films. If you want to watch one that I made, I did a actually combo comedy horror film. You can click right here. Go out and make something, and I'll see you next time.